To order with the Pledge of Allegiance once again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, preliminary announcements. We had an executive session from 6 o'clock till 4 minutes after 7. It was on personnel matters, and we'll take that up a little bit later. I'd like to tell you that we had a meeting, Chris Sarajan and myself went to the Pocono Mountain School District to talk about the road bypass. And basically, they support us to put this road in. However, they don't have any money. The other thing here, I mentioned to Jimmy, as far as an employee, that possibly he can use Ron Miller, who is our seasonal employee, when he's not mowing. His primary job is mowing, and when he's not mowing, if they need him to use it. The next item here is the AEDs that we have. We have one here and one over at the maintenance shed, and they're both back working. They got new batteries. Each one of them did, and then Josh told me that the mask came in for each one of them, 2 sets. All right, and you heard on the Claire's continual use, council will vote on the conditional use as it's at its June 7th regular meeting. You heard the discussion here, and it sounded like we may have a little progress. And with that, I'll go into the treasurer's report. We don't have any money, right?
So presented to the board for approval, $224,061.76. $224,061.76, including those two police payments.
What Danielle's telling you, we're caught up with the exception of June now, right? January, February, with the police, our monthly payments, which is roughly $61,000 per month. So we're okay there.
Yes.
All right, what else do you want to tell us? We need the approval to...
So that the Mets, the CARES grant that we have for Mets on the roof, half of the payment is $10,499.50.
And that came in already.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the
Page
page.
1 of your report, your profit and loss report would show that.
So I see now, we have, for the labor lawyer, we have a payment of $10,728. Does that mean we're all caught up now?
No, that was pulled from last month,
Yeah.
billing.
Okay,
I have a lot out of it in here.
okay. Can you tell me, we have a budget of $30,000, can you tell me what percent of the budget that we were going to use?
You have the paperwork, you have that, but it's about 5 or 6, 7 pages long.
Claudette, I think what that was is they set a budget of $30,000. However, there was $30,000 owed from last year. So it might be all right for this year, but we're going to be $30,000 short. There's no question about that.
Okay,
In the,
I'll find it, thank you.
try like the second, third page. Page 3, third page. Under labor, under legal, under legal.
Just to answer that question, Claudia, so it's on page 3, budget versus actual, page 3. I think you're looking, you look at the labor attorney, it looks like it's,
Yeah.
budget was 30,000, it looks like right now, we're up to 32,592.
So we're over 2,000.
Right, we're over 2,500.
And that's only the tip of the iceberg.
So,
And that, yeah, and that's not even up to date at this point.
Actually, they bill a month behind, so let's say.
But on the bright side, I'm joking.
There's no bright side.
Is that actually January, February, and March? Because it says
Yes, it
March,
is.
February.
They were the three bills that were not paid
Okay,
back
so that's
last
January.
year.
that's the one we hold back.
That we held back.
Right. Thank you.
I could report that what they're working for now is the union contract. Greta is doing that. Mike and I spent an hour and a half on the phone with them going over what is accomplished to date. And we were supposed to meet tomorrow, but she didn't know it was election day. So we don't know when we're gonna meet again. So you need a motion then, Danielle. Does anybody have any questions for Danielle? Mike, yes.
I can scream it from back here, so that's fine. Danielle, how much money does borough actually have? Because I'm seeing two grand totals. One for $508,697.27, and another one for $813,004.79, which when you add those grand totals up, makes $1,321,000 and some odd percent. How much money does borough actually have right now in its coffers?
Which account are you talking about?
I'm seeing the cash report ending on April 30th, 2021, and then the net.
Oh, okay, well, that's many accounts.
13.
That is many accounts, that's the liquid fuels account, planning account, stormwater account, road rehab account, beautification account, payroll, general fund accounts. So if you receive a grand total there, it's $508,000.
Yes.
Are we talking the same stuff?
Yes, I'm talking about that.
$508,697. That's after the April reconciliation,
That's that as of April 30th.
April 30th, right?
Okay, then why do you have a grand total beneath it of 813,000?
That is the total of the current taxes that just came in. 674,000 went to the general fund, road rehab 75,000 and some, library 25, fire 25, and EMS 12.
So roughly there's over $1 million, 1.1 million in the accounts.
No.
Well, if you add that in, yes, well, yes. But you have to say, I reconciled April 30th, the balance of 508 out of all the accounts. I've not reconciled May yet, which shows the May taxes that came in May 7th.
Okay, thank you.
Got it?
One other question.
Just a delay.
I'm sorry?
It's just a delay.
Okay, now another question. You have the general fund checking account at $42,807.84 as the April 30th, 2021.
Correct? That's Pliget.
Okay, then
That's
then you
Pliget.
have- Then you have balancing in the middle of the page, Pliget State Liquid Fuels.
Right, that came in May 3rd.
At a balance of 90,000.
Right, they came in, the liquid fuels came in on May 3rd.
Okay, so now I understand. Now, one other thing.
That's one of those things we're gonna make sure it's this way, about this way.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. She was
Sorry,
just.
go ahead.
Now, the one thing I see that Campbell Durant has, are those bills available for people to look at?
I'm not an attorney on that question.
Okay, the number, but I'm wondering, I believe I was certain there was a resolution or a motion made, or some type of statement made, that only one person is to contact Campbell Durant as the labor attorney.
That's correct.
So do we know how many people are contacting
Not me.
Campbell Durant to run up a bill of $35,000?
There's only two of us.
to Bill Shapiro loan?
You answer that.
That's correct.
Mike, I think Mike can answer that question for you. Actually, I'll answer it. Actually, there's two people that contact the labor attorney. We had a conference call. What day was it?
A week and a half ago, roughly.
Yeah. in reference to labor language, okay? And it was about, we were about an hour and a half, you know.
Okay, so any other issue coming up, no one should be speaking, from my understanding then, any other issue coming up, no one except either you and or the mayor should be speaking and running up bills for Campbell Durant as the labor attorney, for any other reason.
Not to my best of my knowledge. There's only 2 individuals that I know of.
Okay. And then I'll tell you what I will do is I'd like to see a copy of the bills, the who spoke and whatever. I heard that there were 7 pages, so I'd like to, I'll do a right to know act and get a right to know and get a copy of those.
Or you can stop in and look at them.
No, I think you have to do it right
He has to do it right now.
Oh, okay.
Council members can go up and look, it's, the public would require a right to know.
And how
All right,
far back are-
anything else, Mike?
How far back are you looking for?
I'll go through all the way through to 2020 if necessary.
Okay.
So, thank you.
All right, with that being said, anybody have any other questions for Danielle? And if not, I will entertain a motion to approve the bills as presented.
So move.
I'll
Right.
second.
Regular moved and second to approve the bills as presented. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion so carried.
Thank you.
Jody, you still want to be on the agenda here? Or did you speak your piece or not? Is there somebody else that's going to talk?
Well, I just have one thing. I won't
Go ahead.
continue my rant.
Take the mask off so I can hear you.
I won't continue my rant, I'll actually speak MPA. Due to a lot of these series of events in our world, we're not doing the June 5th Community Day. It has been canceled.
Okay.
So it is not going to go on. I unfortunately, the fearless leader has taken quite a hit this month. It was not only that, my brother passed away, I buried him 2 weeks ago. My mother had a hip, we had some illnesses, so there was a lot that transpired prior to this happening, which I thought my month was over. But anyway, so that is canceled. Harvest Fest is still going on. We're gonna get working on that more diligently at this point, and that's it. I won't keep you any further.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I'm sorry to hear about your problems.
Thank you.
Mike Ozier, do you have something you want to, persons to be heard?
I will make sure Matt gets my good side.
Ada, do you have something you want to give?
Yes,
Please don't read that letter.
I have to.
You gonna talk to? Letter?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mike.
Now, first of all, as of the May 3rd, a monthly meeting, Councilperson Stacy brought up a couple of issues in reference to the municipal authority. I had to bring them up now in reference to the municipal authority itself. First of all, Stacy, one of the things that you had was that you had difficulty paying your bill online. Well, from the old website, the EB2 Pay Online is still active. So basically, unless you did not remember your password or your ID, you could still pay your bill online.
No, what I said is I didn't receive a bill in the mail because I always receive my bill in the mail.
Well, see, in reference to that, I went back into some of the accounts, and yours being one of them. You had signed up for paperless billing sometime in April of 2019, and again in February of 2020.
We're going to give
So
Josh 60
you would not have
days.
gotten a bill
Pay the
because
bill.
you signed up for paperless
Yeah.
billing.
Yeah.
Now, we could not, no one in the municipal authority can sign anyone
he's
up for
gonna make it.
paperless billing,
Yes.
whether on the old EB2 system or the new Munilink system. So that happened, so that's why you were not receiving any bills whatsoever, is because someone, either you or someone else who has your account set up paperless billing. So you would not have gotten any bills. And also,
I didn't set that up.
Okay.
The account that I was told that is being used, I have used in, I don't know, like maybe 7 years.
okay, well,
This is the AOL account. I spoke to Sue.
Okay, and I saw that, your AOL account, Stacy2 at something at
Yeah,
AOL.com.
I haven't used that.
And we backed into that, so someone has been paying your bills on that account. Or, so I have no idea how.
Say thank you.
So,
I pay my bills online.
okay, so from there, and also too, you would not have been able to pay a bill online because of the municipal billing that we have now in effect. So, right now, you were signed up May 3rd for MuniLink to pay your bills online with MuniLink. That's the new system that the municipal authority has.
Okay, so can you give me that info?
I can't give it to you right now because I don't have it, because but Suzanne does, because I got a message when I spoke with her the day after our meeting, the Tuesday after the meeting here. I actually went in and double checked all the accounts, and especially did yours. I wanted to see why you were one of the only few, in fact, you were the only one that couldn't pay a bill online, and then we found out because of that,
Okay.
because of your password and IDs. And then we found out that you're not getting bills because someone had signed up for paperless billing. And now the last bill that we had did go to your 7 Candlewood
Yeah.
address. It did go out, and we have that it was forwarded. Now, if you did not receive the last bill, we have it actually from the MuniLink program, which does everything from beginning to end, meaning every time a bill is generated, it will have the person before, 2 or 3 people before, and 2 or 3 people afterwards, so that when the bills are put in the envelopes, we can keep track of whose bills they are. And your bill was put in the envelope and actually was mailed.
So I should have a new.
You should have a bill, but now remember, that bill was not generated until, was generated was generated in March for the April billing. And the April discount period ended April 15th.
Okay.
So you should have a bill that somehow you received, which should have been received in March 30th, 31st, or April 1st or 2nd. So we passed the buck on that to the postal department, which has happened before, but we do know that it was put in the envelope and was received. Now, the only other thing too that you have to realize is that in a particular situation of yours in reference to payment schedules, you're still, you must maintain your bills. Okay, so that's the only thing I can say in reference to that. But also too, for everyone here, a sewer bill is a fact of life, especially here in the borough. And those are, just like you get a sewer bill, you also get an electric bill, you also get a phone bill, you also get a gas bill, you also get a water bill. So ours just happen to come out every 3 months. So it's a fact of life. Those that are in the borough of Mount Pocono, whether you're rent or whether you own, you do get a bill. So common sense will tell you that there's bills going out. The sewer happens to be every 3 months and not every month.
A question.
Yes.
Real quick. I know you guys just had an in-person meeting recently. I happened to be here in the borough building earlier today where a couple came in attempting to pay their bill, and Susan's next door, but she won't open the door or accept it.
I agree with that, absolutely.
And how long is that going to go on? Because
Forever.
it keeps taking Diana.
Forever. For right now, the bills, right now, we are in a different situation
Is
than
there
what
any
the
way
borough
that
is.
they can get like some kind of timestamp or something for when they submit it? Because
We're very lenient
it's
on that.
taking-
The box is out there. All
I
they have to do is
understand
fill
that,
the
but
box.
I'm saying that as a resident, when they come to pay the bill, they want to see something that shows that they were here and that they submitted that bill. And what's happening is that they're coming to the borough side and they're taking Diana or whoever's at the desk at that time away from their job.
All you have to do is tell, the people are well aware that the borough office is not, the municipal building, municipal authority office is not open. That's why we have the lockbox out there.
So the only way that they can be sure that their payment is being received at a specific date or time is if by doing it online.
Doing it online, or you're dropping in the lockbox out there, that's picked up sometimes
But
twice
they're
a
not getting a
day.
receipt that they got it.
We're very lenient with that. We will give them a receipt if they want. That's not an issue. We'll give them a call and tell them they received it, whatever they want.
Is there any way to post a sign that if you request a receipt, please note it, so that they're not constantly going to
We'll make
the
sure
borough?
I'll make sure that's in the next billing cycle.
Okay, thank you.
from there, so that's not an issue. And if they want to post a sign, we'll post a small sign out in front of the door.
I appreciate
But
it.
you have to realize, the municipal authority is a little different than the borough.
No, I understand
Yeah,
that,
right,
it's just
so-
that it's taking our employees away
Well,
from the
this
work
time,
that
I
they
would
need to
say,
do.
we've been doing this now for over a year. If someone doesn't realize they can't come to the borough building, and they have to come to the borough building to pay a sewer bill, do they go to the Pennsylvania Power and Light Company in
I can't
Allentown?
answer for
Exactly.
the hard-headedness of some
That's,
people.
they're being hard-headed at that point. I would say, I'd be very belligerent, turn them away. Or tell them, there's the box out there, drop it in there.
I will make sure that our employees
Yes.
know to do
Is
that.
there a
Okay.
reason, Mike, why the office is not open?
Yes.
People like personal,
No, I don't, well,
and
that's
it wasn't open because we've been dealing with COVID for the
That's- and that
past
was-
year, so
that really-
everybody expects it to open back
well,
up.
it's not going to open back up, because we found out something with the municipal authority. We have seven full-time employees that are at the plant. Should any type of infection go to them down there, that sewer plant will not function. We need to have good health within the sewer plant. People come in, they can transfer any type of disease to our personnel here in the office. They will, that will somehow, with the people that we move back and forth, the internal people, it can go down to the plant personnel. If that plant personnel gets to the point where they are ill and cannot work because of something that was brought in, whether it be COVID, whether it be COVID-19, COVID-21, or the flu, that plant cannot function without personnel. We have to take every available resource possible and make sure that those plant personnel are safe. Because if somehow something happens to that plant, notwithstanding the $20 million expansion that was just done, if something happens with that plant and that sewage overflows or goes into the stream or whatever, it's not going to be the plant personnel who are going to be paying for it. It's going to be every resident who is on that sewer system paying for the fines. So we have to take every precaution. I'm sorry it wasn't done sooner than this. COVID happened to snap into place on that, but now it's in place, and now that's where it will stay. And from there, the municipal authority office will not open to the public.
Can you send that out in the next bill?
It's already been noticed. It's been in the papers. And
Well, Mike, I have to speak up because I'm one of those employees that gets inundated several times. Our receptionist is not here every day of the week, so other of us have to cover. And I don't mean to be, but I'm not a nasty person, so for you to imply that I need to be nasty to someone to tell them not to do it, I'm trying to be helpful, okay? And most of the time, people will engage because they want an outcome. And I don't think it's fair to our office to have to bear that burden. And I don't know what the solution is, but I mean, honestly speaking, I don't mean to be mean, but is your personnel not going shopping? Are they not engaging with their family?
Exactly.
Like, all of these
Exactly.
things,
that's the
it's
difference.
not,
Okay,
you understand what I'm saying? Like, no, but it's a reality that we're dealing with, and there's a little frustration, and I know that maybe this is not the platform to do it, but I think it is, because we've raised this concern before as office personnel
Okay,
and the borough, and it's not being addressed.
What we will do then, you'll have a sign then, very shortly, that says municipal authority payments are not accepted at this office. Please use the lockbox outside.
And what do we do with the language barriers?
I believe we are in the United States of America, and we do speak English here, so that's good enough.
I've never seen anybody from the sewer like guys in that office. I've only seen Sue or Barbara for as long as I lived here, so how is it going back down to?
Jonathan comes back and forth. He's the one person that does travel back and forth from the building and to the plant. So that his office is in the building, but he also mans the office and maintains,
Mike, can't
Well,
you
everybody is-
just tell your customers there's no longer an office in this building?
Yeah, just say.
Maybe they should
I think
move
that's what
everything
I'm
down
saying,
to the
because they don't-
sewer.
Would you like me to try that?
I
don't
would,
mi-
and
I do not
I don't
mind,
need to.
I do not mind doing that to relieve the situation that you have here.
Yeah.
that it's
I
not
mean,
an
it's
issue.
tough. It's actually, we're.
But we have to be hard-nosed on that issue, you know,
Which is
because you
true.
have,
I'm not, we can't, like I said, we can't dictate what you guys do in that office, but it is impacting our office because people, and that's not fair also to, like, you don't wanna be exposed, but that's not fair to say then our office gets extra exposure because we're fielding.
well, I'll tell you what, then we'll have that put out in the next billing, and the next billing cycle from there. And then if anyone does want to complain, just have them come into the next municipal authority meeting. You've heard me say that before, and everyone else has said it before. Like, you would come into the borough building.
Appreciate that.
So, but I can have a sign, I'll have a sign made, and we'll put it up there that the borough municipal authority payments cannot be made at this office.
Fair enough. Thank you.
And then from there,
Respond,
basically, all I have to do is then point to
You
the
wanna
people on
respond,
that.
Aiden?
I am being hard-nosed at that because we have to protect,
I'm gonna put
you know,
down
and
to hear
take
your
every
name
precaution that
in
we can for the
response.
personnel.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, Stacy, I hope that answers your questions for what we had from there. And everyone? Now, just remember, we did have a very large meeting last Thursday. And if you did not read it or hear about it or whatever, the municipal authority rates are going up as of the October 1 billing 2021 by $120 per year.
Per year?
Per year.
$30 call.
Yeah, it's $30 per quarter. And that's due to the expansion of that $20 million expansion down there.
I have
Yes.
a question. You keep saying $20 million, but you got some grant money on that, do you?
Oh, yeah, well, basically, it was
What
9
was the
million.
net, what was the net dollars that you have to pay?
9.6 million,
Okay,
and 9.6 million.
So you
And
got
that's the
11
USDA loan.
right. You got $11 million grant, I would call it a grant.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
But also too, Franny, don't forget, it's not just the grant money that's coming in, it's also now the new maintenance
Well, that's a big,
and the costs of that building and the cost of the expansion.
you know what I told you to do?
I know.
Is that commercial too?
Yeah, it's commercial as well, yes. There's the commercial rates have increased appropriately. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ada, you're up.
I'm wearing a different hat now.
Now you see complaint.
Okay, so I was asked to read this letter that was circulated. I'm coming on this side of the table and not speaking as a council member, but as a member of the community. The issue for me being on both ends is because I don't share my views there. I'm allowed to here. And being a resident here and knowing that maybe some people don't want to be the person that they feel targeted, or they don't want to be misliked or anything, I said I would read the letter. So I'm here reading the letter. This letter was circulated, dated May 12, 2021, to the residents of Mount Pocono. We, the undersigned, can you hear me through this mask? Okay. We, the undersigned bipartisan coalition of current and former Mount Pocono Borough Council members, demand the immediate resignation of Mayor Michael Penn. We acknowledge our political differences, but come together in defense of civility and the sanction of the borough government. Michael Penn has violated the boundaries set forward by the Pennsylvania's Borough Code, causing discord and distress to Mount Pocono. Most egregious and pressing. There's 3 bullets, the first being his late night and unannounced removal of his election opponent's financial interest forms, and the simultaneous placement of his past due financial interest forms. The second now would be an unannounced removal and subsequent altering of the March 2021 meeting audio recording. And the third final one listed was the recording an unscheduled meeting to chastise the borough manager for his reveal of the mayor's removal of the documents mentioned above. Additionally, Michael Penn has amassed an unethical amount of influence over the council and has solidified his position with hand-picked appointees and employees, including but not limited to There are 4 points, the first being orchestration of removal of council president. Second, his elevation to chair of the planning commission. Third, sitting on 9 and chairperson 5 sub-council committees. And finally, maintaining a seat on the Mount Pocono Municipal Authority. His intimidation and undermining of employees led to a hostile work environment resulting in employee turnover, expensive lawsuits, and the movement to unionize. His tactics has caused division among council members, employees, and residents. The division paralyzed the council and stopped all progress of essential issues like short-term rental, a balanced budget, and road safety. I think our budget's okay. But we urge Michael Penn to make the right decision for Mount Pocono and its residents and businesses and step down immediately. The turmoil of the past 2.5 years must come to an end. We hope that this letter will start the healing process. Because they're not here, I mean, this was sent by email to all the council members. I don't know if they want their names publicly read, so I will refrain from doing so, as I was just asked to read it.
You just made a statement that our budget is.
I'm not making it as a statement. I think it's not as bad as it's being reported to me.
Okay, President,
I'm putting
let's
my
go
council
on.
member hat back on.
Okay, the next person to be heard from is the mayor. His response to that letter.
Well, first I'll say, I was going to refrain from a response because Jody made a comment in the midst of the meeting saying, let's be civil, and it's not about one person's race or one person's this or that. So, should I make a response or shouldn't I? I'll let it up to you.
I don't think so.
Okay. I see some head shaking, so I will. I want to keep it civil, but you know, I think that's important. But at the same time, so yeah, Borough Council received this letter asking for my resignation. I was going to read the letter, but I'll go through it instead. It's full of accusations and innuendo, unfair and untruthful. And before I comment, let me say I dedicate 40 to 50 hours per week to the borough. I've been told by many residents, Democrats and Republicans alike, the former council president and former and current council members, that I'm doing a great job for the borough. And my opinion is that I'm doing a great job for Mount Pocono. So let me just jump to the accusations here. His late night and unannounced removal of his election opponent's financial interest form and simultaneous placement of his past due financial interest form. I think facts matter. I never removed anyone's financial interest form. I've never removed any documents from the borough. And there is no proof of this. This is a letter, as I said, innuendo with nothing behind it. An unannounced removal and subsequent altering of the March 2021 meeting audio recording. Let me just put out there, how does one alter a cassette tape? Splice it? Well, yeah, but that's not in my skill set. And it's nothing I did. It's another unfounded accusation. Recording an unscheduled meeting to chastise the borough manager for his reveal of the mayor's removal of the documents mentioned above. I never chastise anyone. That's not what I do. I attempted to have a conversation, but you know, I'm trying to remain civil, so I don't want to go into details, but I didn't chastise anyone. His orchestration of the removal of council president, no. I didn't orchestrate this. I didn't orchestrate this at all. Council members approached me, convinced me, and I supported them after a long deliberation that really tore at me because we had been friends. His elevation to chair of planning commission, I'm allowed to be on committees just as council members. I was voted chair of the planning commission because I'm the longest serving member. And we had lost a lot of experience, some really long-serving members. And I asked the solicitor and was told there was no issue. Sitting on 9 and chairperson of 5 council subcommittees. Well, I'm on 8 actually, and that's one more than Claudette had assigned me to. And chairperson of 4, not 5, the same as Claudette had assigned me to.
Not a chair.
Yeah, Chair, you can look at your assignments. I did that. So I divided and paralyzed council and stopped all progress on essential issues like short-term rentals, a balanced budget, and road safety. I'm going to jump to the budget first because it's something I'm proud of. I submitted the first balanced budget in at least a decade, and council approved it. It was a true balanced budget, not like was submitted in years past, borrowing from future years. This was a true balanced budget. Short-term rentals, I agree these are things that need to be addressed. We had 2 meetings in 3 years prior under a different council president. Road safety, 1 meeting in 3 years. 1, we're talking about safety, 1 meeting. These were reasons that we moved in that direction and appointed Fran president, not because of me. The turmoil was not caused by me, and the healing has begun. That was the point of appointing Fran president, and he's working hard to bring civility here to council. Just want to reiterate some points because I had issued a press release when this letter was circulated because there are some legal issues here, and I had spoken to council about this. I'm going to make 4 points. 1, I haven't removed any documents whatsoever from the borough building. Personnel issues within the borough have recently required more direct supervision, in fact, intense scrutiny and oversight. For a long period, work has not been completed, and the borough has suffered financial loss as a result. Several discrepancies brought to light the need to investigate incomplete work, and as members of council and the mayor have a legal and fiduciary responsibility to taxpayers to oversee and protect their taxpayer dollars, I copied documents to inform Borough Council with their support. It was discussed in an executive session, in fact, of discrepancies and inconsistencies in work being completed. Documents were not removed, copies were made. Even if they were removed, there's nothing prohibiting documents from being removed. All documents of the borough are presumed to be public. That's the presumption in the law. In fact, that is the definition of Pennsylvania's right to know law. Borough documents are not the possession of one person, employee, council member, or mayor. All elected officials have access to all public documents in order to fulfill our elected roles. With the exception of personnel or health information, no borough employee has an expectation of privacy, just as in any private sector job. I'm going to read you an email. So this was an email sent to our labor attorney. And the subject was removal of material. It's about all that, so I'm not going to read that portion of it, but I will read the response. This was to Claudette from Gretchen, and quite frankly, she laid out the law. And good morning, I'm not aware of any resolution, this is Gretchen speaking, of any resolution that the borough has in place relative to records. I've copied the borough solicitor on this thread to address that matter. I want to note, however, there seems to be a misconception regarding ownership and privacy. The borough's documents are the borough's, not any individuals, and as you are aware, Claudette, there is a presumption of the law that all records are public. This concept is further outlined in the borough's personnel handbook. The borough's offices, its files, its computer, etc., are owned by the borough, and employees have no expectation of privacy. Simply put, if the borough wanted to search an employee's computer, it would be legal. I recall sharing this concept with you when we discussed these prior matters. So, the reason all this comes about is because I supported placing Fran as president. And it's a shame that we can't just move on and do the borough's business. Like Jim Ferrari sat here and said one day, like Jody said a little while ago, I think that's the smart thing to do, rather than leveling unfounded accusations at people in a hit job or trying to destroy people. That's crazy. I mean, we're a community, we're a small community. I don't know why we can't come together. I have tons of ideas. Other people have tons of ideas. And mocking people or attacking people isn't the way to go about it. Let's get something done. So I think with that, I'm just going to say, I mean, I've even been called in these meetings by Claudette Satan. And if that doesn't show you the absurdity of it and the personal nature of it, nothing will. I mean, those are the motivations. I'm going to just mention, I received an email from a borough resident saying this: we've lived in this beautiful community for 27 years, and I enjoy our little neck of the woods and the beautiful views. After watching you on the news and standing up to the senator about the speeding problem, my wife said, he is really one who cares for the people. You know what? That's true. And elections decide such matters, not bullies. If, you know, it's fine. If I'm not reelected, so be it. It's not the end of my world. I enjoy this. I enjoy representing the people. I enjoy fighting for people and trying to implement ideas and a vision. So regardless of the outcome, I stand by my tough decisions, even when they make those unwilling to change seek revenge against me. And that's leadership.
Okay, if you don't mind, President, I would like to make my statement.
Go ahead.
Now, it was mentioned that work was not being completed. The work in the borough could not be completed by the office staff because the stuff that was there, or the letters that they received, was taken from the borough. That is the reason why there was the lack of completion of work that was done in the borough. That is number one. Number two, the first mention of my removal came about by Mike Penn when I made the statement to him that I was turning over my responsibility to Joshua. It wasn't because of anything else. It was because that I told him that I was turning over that responsibility when I received an email from him stating that if he is going to call for my removal. Another issue with that piece is that if you notice right now, and Joshua is right here, as president, if a statement went out and an email went out, I would get Tom Nevels who would comment on their email, then Patty Bucher would comment on their email, then Tom Neville will come back, and you could look, and I could show it to you, and if Ada and Stacy need to be honest, they will see. It will be an email thread of about 15 or 20 messages. Ever since that you have been in office, and it's been, that 15 or 20 messages is more of a tear down what you're not doing or question everything. Since you have been in office, Joshua has actually sent email just to see if there's any communication going on. The communication between the borough and Stacy and myself is zero. There is no communication going on. If there's a communication, it is between you guys, not myself and Stacy.
Don't put
and
me in that
Joshua.
boat.
I'm just saying what we see in the email traffic. There is nothing else going on, and we don't know anything else that's going on. That is what, and this is how it has been separated. Okay, Mike Penn stated that the removal, Gretchen stated that anyone can remove whatever they need or property from the borough. Yes, we have the right to, however, there's a custodian of record. Not everyone should be able to walk into that office and take whatever they want. Someone has to give accountability for all the records that are in that borough when they're taken out and replaced. It was also mentioned that I took files from the borough. I would just like to know, what would I be doing with a maintenance file? As a matter of fact, when Lori was in office, I asked for a spreadsheet of all the equipment that we have in the borough. I have that, so there's nothing that I would need with a maintenance record. And that record was returned during the time when I was sick with COVID. I was out with COVID for at least 6 weeks. That record was returned, so for some reason, magically, I must have got up out of my bed, daydreaming or sleepwalking, and returned those records. Diana could attest to this, that not once during that entire 2020 COVID period have I ever used my key to come in that front door. Even though we all have a key, I do not use my key for this building. Stacy's the one that will let me in or whatever. So when he went out a record that I took a maintenance record for whatever reason, I just can't understand what I would need with that. But the business of the borough that could not be conducted and that they're blaming that work was unfinished is because those records were missing. Because as the president, I got a call saying, I can't complete this because I remember receiving this letter. It was time-stamped and it could not be found. Okay, so I mean, what Mike Penn is saying and accusing, he talks about someone accusing him, but at the same time, he's doing the same thing, accusing. And that was the reason why. I mean, he accused me of keeping my foot on his neck because he is gay. 12 years when he was 12 years because he didn't have a voice. I don't know how I did that when I did not know you and that you had a fear of coming out to the public. But you accused me of doing that.
Enough, Pocono, because this is just ridiculous.
No,
Nothing.
He did that publicly.
That's not true. That wasn't the statement.
There's a lot of false
We're
laws. I
not-
don't want to continue
we're not
with this
getting- we're not-
conversation, and we want to do the public's work, and I want to end it now. Is all?
Okay. So you want to end it.
Okay, now wait a minute. Whoa, hold it. We had enough of this now.
He is the one that said it,
Well-
not me. He accused me of such action.
Claudette, you sent an email out saying that I wasn't capable of being president.
I said because of the internet problem. You are the same one that said.
Well, let me
do
ask
not
you
work on
a
the
question.
internet.
Did you ever
I
call?
asked you, why is it that I'm receiving everything from Mike instead of you? You assigned after
I'm
the
using
meeting,
my
you assigned
wife's,
Mike
I'm
to take
using my
over the
wife's
borough.
email.
Excuse me?
That's why, it's her email. I don't have
You made
one.
that public that you were turning all operation over to the mayor after that meeting.
No, I
of
did
May.
not. You show me where I did that. Get it.
Outright lie.
Okay. I will get that recording for you.
You show me. I would appreciate it, but
Go ahead, Patty, open your mouth.
I just have a question for you,
I
Claudia.
had my hand
When
up.
you were running for state representative, you turned a lot of powers over to the mayor.
I did not.
Yes, you
Yes,
I
certainly
did not.
did. You were missing
I
during
worked
that
with the
time.
mayor.
I'm not gonna fight with you.
I did not.
You did.
I did not.
Okay, look, I think we had enough of this. I only took this job for one reason, that I hoped that I would get the council back together again. You know, our reputation is terrible, and it's not my fault that it's that way. It's this continuous bickering that we have at these meetings. It's terrible.
Right.
No, it's the.
You
view that
even heard
on the email.
the solicitor. He tore into everybody that was here for the way they were acting.
Franny, did you know all the email that myself and Joshua sustained once Joshua came on board, that we assisted from Patty Bucco and Tom Neville? Counselor, Tom Neville was the one person that made the statement that Joshua should be involved in all the decision-making, the agenda creation, all that stuff when we first hired Joshua. That is one of the reasons why I turned around and I said to Mike that I will turn over the responsibility over to Joshua. Once that was done, Mike Penn was against that. And that is what led to everything.
Look, we're not going to argue this thing all night. Let's just bury the bone and get together. I mean, what are you getting out of this when you just keep bickering over everything? All you do is
But he is not.
And when me and Patty email to Josh, that means we're interested and we want to get things done. And then when I took a course on being a new council person, they said when all council people email together, it's a quorum and we shouldn't do it. And that's why I go to selective people.
Okay.
That's right, Claudette.
I'd like to address one thing. You say that I wasn't, let's say, equivalent to be in the computer and to be president.
No,
I have been
because they-
president of more organizations than I bet you have.
Franny,
And
I was
you-
the one that voted for you to become back.
Yeah, but why do you make that
They
statement?
removed you and
They removed you and I voted to have you back.
So.
I know that, I know that, I realize that, but
That
then,
goes down. The same
Did you vote for him to be president?
Why would
No.
I say that?
You didn't vote for him to be
You
president.
guys removed him the month before as vice president, and I made a motion to put him back in.
and you voted against me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I put him
you-
back in.
This is ridiculous.
This is over with. We don't have to do this continuously.
Yeah, you don't.
Look, it's over with.
It's not that, it's not that. It's
What
got
is-
nothing to do with the.
Go ahead. Ada wants to say something. We're burying a
guys.
bone here.
Yeah, the only thing I want to address,
Listen. Go ahead, Ada.
the only thing I want to address directly in public here is the fact that communication between council members has ceased. And that does need to, pick back up. A lot of these meetings that are being had and stuff that are having necessary.
private meeting.
Right, that's fine if they happen, because
Come on, one
sometimes they
speaks and
happen-
not two.
Let me finish. Sometimes they happen because of a time constraint, and I understand that, but I think that minutes need to be sent out, and a notification needs to be sent out to all of council that says, today I met with so-and such because this happened, and this is the results of that meeting. Nobody knows anything until we come to
Exactly,
here.
no
And
transparency.
that, to me, is a big issue, which is why it has the perception of being a lot of animosity amongst us. That's the part that I think feeds into the idea that we're completely divided and we continue to act this way because of the perception behind it. It just needs to be, we all need to have the responsibility to say, okay, I went to this meeting, these are the results, and this is what I'm doing.
So let's move forward to the bond issue. I think we have something positive to do tonight.
Yes,
Hold on, I just want to answer that,
go ahead.
because Ada, you had said to me, oh, let me know when COG meets, let me know this.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm not no one's secretary to remind everybody of meetings. I have a lot of other things as well. And I did send you an email that we were meeting, the grant committee was meeting. I didn't get a response. I can't make you respond or anybody else. And I don't feel that it's my job to make sure somebody goes to a meeting.
Well, let me just say one thing. What I did was I set up the committees, and there's a chair in each one. Those are the chairman is who I look to give me the answer. I mean, I don't go to every other individual to get some information. I go to the chairman. That's the reason you have a chairman.
But if
I
I'm
know,
on the
I
committee
know
for
in Claudette's
grants,
case,
and
she
grants are
didn't,
being
she even
submitted, I know
never
nothing
mentioned
about,
anybody's chairman. She was
how is that a
chairman
committee?
of, pardon?
I said, I sit on the grants committee, and grants are being submitted, and I know nothing about them.
You weren't at the
You
meeting.
didn't go to the meeting.
So why wasn't the information sent out to
Well, I
all
can
of
tell you
council?
this, I went to Florida, I took a vacation.
Okay,
I left.
well,
I
I'm glad
left
that you went to
community.
Florida, but
Okay, okay.
that's not my point.
Okay.
That's enough of this. Let's forget it.
Arguing again, and we don't want to argue. That's it, plain and simple.
Okay, it's over with. We have some more business to do under the regular meeting. All right, under unfinished business, I'm going to say borough manager /
Speak into the
secretary.
microphone, nobody can hear you, they're talking.
Okay, I'll repeat that. Under borough manager / secretary, we have a motion to make. And I asked Patty if she would make it, please.
I'd like to make a motion to give Joshua Walker 60 days to pay the balance of $2,175 for the bond. The borough has a line item of $325. The bond is $2,500. Once he gets this paid, once the bond is paid in full, then he becomes borough manager. With this, his health insurance will begin June 1st. You won't have to wait for the health insurance. You can do the paperwork, that goes in, you'll be covered June 1st.
I think we, well, this is something else, okay. We have a motion, no, I'm sorry, no. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Tom. On the question. All in favor,
I
signal.
don't believe that he should be paying that, that difference is, the state of Pennsylvania stated that if you have a commission and you have an ordinance in place, that means that if the commission state that there's a certain amount, then that is when you hold that individual accountable for that amount. There's no ordinance or resolution in place to justify such an action, and I think what you guys are doing is unjust, because, but the borough is responsible for paying that bond.
Claudia, all I want to say is the gentleman agreed to pay that.
Well, there's public participation.
Jody wants to say something too.
Well, go ahead, Jody.
I'm actually gonna
Go ahead.
defend his honor.
Step
You
up
got-
so that you can be heard.
You guys hired him. You
Exactly.
hired him, you pay for every other bond. How could you tell him he has to pay for his bond? You shouldn't have hired him then.
Exactly.
You should have done your
Hey.
background work and not hired somebody who had whatever situation he had. And now he's here, and you should pay for it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just, I mean, listen, I'm nobody, but it's sitting in the audience, but
Well-
why should he pay when you hired him?
Everybody's
It's actually your bad, you shouldn't have hired somebody then who couldn't
I
get his
think you're
bond.
pointing the finger at the wrong people.
Well, I don't know who, I'm just saying, in general, if he was hired by this group, then
He was.
then you guys should eat it, because that's, I hate to say, you're bad. You hired somebody with this, you know, with a situation, and that's the way it works.
When you interview somebody,
I would have asked.
you cannot discriminate against that.
You can't, but I'm not a cook by trade, let me explain, I ran agencies, I have a lot of degrees, I'm actually educated, and if I had somebody come in, it's up to me to ask those questions prior to hiring them. So, I got this.
So what you're saying is
I'm saying is that if this is somebody, you guys hired this person, and normally you would pay, is that not correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, so, I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know the whole deal of it, but I know that there's a situation, it's a higher premium to pay.
it's about 7 times
I
higher than
know,
normal.
but again, you hired them, you know.
So
I
we'll
mean,
have to
it's-
raise-
You have to eat the error then, and next time go forward and don't do that.
I can't see why, I mean, we've never had a situation like this. This is something, and the normal premium for a bond was $325.
Right.
This one here is $2,500, okay? Now divide, one from the other, it's 7 times what the normal one is.
You know,
Now,
I get it.
the Josh agreed that he could pay it in 60 days, to me. Right here, Josh, don't change your mind.
No, I'm not
You're forcing
Fred, I'm not
him to
changing
say
my
that.
mind.
He was given an ultimatum.
There was
I
no
can't
option.
talk
Just let
about
him
anything.
talk, would you please?
Let me say, I obviously can't talk about what occurred in executive session, but I don't know what other option that there was. I mean, to not have a job obviously is gonna be detrimental to me. To not be in this position, I mean, I know the borough was here before me, it'll be here after me, but to quickly do that transition, I mean, there's 4 days until the period runs out. I mean, it's Thursday, that my probationary period. If we had this discussion maybe a month ago when we were kind of battling this, it probably would have been a lot easier to come up, but in 4 days, I'm also
We're
concerned
not
about.
saying you have to pay it in 4 days, we said 60 days.
No, but I'm saying if I said no, then I wouldn't have a job on Thursday, so it would be difficult.
I think
for
would
that
bring, I think it
transition.
would bring up another discussion, not, let's say, any necessary action that the council would take.
If someone's not-
You agreed to it,
He was
I'd say
forced
be a
into-
man
That's
and
an
accept
executive
it.
session discussion we
He
can't
was
bring up.
forced into agreeing. If he didn't agree, then his options were slim. It got to the point where he would be demoted, money would be taken away, or he would be fired. He was put on a chopping block, and he had to make a decision. He was forced into a decision.
I have a tremendous suggestion.
Well,
The people that think that he should not pay that thing, and instead of letting the taxpayers pay it, why don't each one of you kick in the money and pay his?
You hired him.
I didn't hire him.
We did.
They interviewed him, whomever.
We all
Okay, don't wash your hands of it because.
I'm
you
not
voted for it.
washing my hands, I'm just saying, you
Okay.
people,
You people, again, you people. Who is you people, Fran? Who are you
if
referring
the
to?
ones that interviewed him is the ones that hired him, let's put it that way. Council approved it, but that's it.
You need to learn how to be politically correct.
Okay, enough of that issue. The issue is now,
Fran. And Marie and Mike also too.
okay, Anne Marie, you're first.
The question is, when you offered him a job, did you specify that he had to be bonded and that he would not be hired
unless he was bonded. And if you did not do that, then that's on you.
Okay, let me answer that.
Go ahead.
He signed the ordinance that established the borough manager job. He signed it. He certainly read it, and as secretary, and he knew he had to be bonded. He did not apply for a bond until February of things. So in January, he became borough manager through a motion. Which, in fact,
You
I
should
made,
have then
explain to you the
hired
issue.
him on the contingency that he would be bonded.
Ms. Harris,
He
correct?
is bonded.
Ms. Harris,
Now he is.
no, he's not bonded yet, we
he's
have
He's
not
not
paid the
bonded,
bond
but he
yet.
can be
But
bonded.
Ms. Harris, I'm gonna address to you, upon his interviewing process, our ordinance does state, is it a resolution or an ordinance? It's an ordinance, his ordinance does state he needs to be bonded. However, history has shown that we as the borough pay our employees bonding. That ordinance does not specify that you have to be bonded within the budget of the borough. So therefore, that's the discrepancy that we're coming across, because the borough has budgeted bonding finances at the rate of $325 based on their past experience.
yeah, well,
He was hired, his bond is gonna cost quite a bit more than that. Should
tell
he
him how
be
many
held
times
liable?
more.
Well,
No,
it's
he should
25
not.
Well, that's the question that's on the floor.
Right, and I say, no, he should not. It was the borough's responsibility
Okay,
for the people who hired him in that meeting, whatever.
all right.
Fran, no, don't shut me down.
Well, you're only gonna get 3 minutes. I mean,
Excuse me, Anne Marie, I wanna just address that, go ahead.
wait a minute, I wanna call Mike Ozier had his hand up there, and I wanna hear what he has to say.
I'm taking away my second. I'm taking away.
You know what? I'll pull the motion. Is everybody happy? I'll pull the motion. Joshua will pay the bond. How about that? I make a motion to pay his bond $2,500. When the taxpayers are upset, whatever.
We have a second?
Just second it and get out. Real, second it. Give the man his job.
There's other council persons here.
I'll second.
There you go.
Okay, it's regularly moved and seconded that Joshua agreed to pay his bond.
He didn't agree.
He did not.
Yes, he did, right here to
He
me.
did not.
No.
He did.
Did you agree, Joshua?
He did not.
Great, I said, yeah, no, I did, great, you did say, can you pay this? I said 60 days, I'll definitely try to come up
Well,
with that. Yeah.
originally you said 30, and I said, I don't think that's fair. I was gonna give you 60.
You did say that, yeah.
So I was gonna give you extra time because I'm not gonna do anything bad to you. So I'll remove it. We'll pay the bond. It's really funny. We'll pay the bond, and I hope you do well in your position.
And Joshua, may I ask you a question? With the borough paying the bond and the taxpayers, are you willing to secure your job to maybe help out and chip in a little bit?
I didn't understand the question. What did you
I'm
say?
just asking, are you willing to help out a little bit with paying that large amount of the bond? Where we normally pay
No, you should not be
I'm just
asking.
asking.
Okay, we heard enough on this. I think we have one more. Michael, did you want to talk?
Randy, the only thing I would like to say is that Pennsylvania is a right-to-work state. If you don't want Joshua on this board or in this, you can fire him without any repercussions whatsoever. Pennsylvania is a right-to-work state.
Okay, we had a motion on the floor.
Probationary period, there's no repercussions.
We had a motion on the floor by Patty that Josh will pay $2,100.
Excuse me, I pulled my motion.
You did?
Yes, I did, and I re-motioned that the borough will pay the $2,500 bond. As soon as it's paid and the bond is given, he will be borough manager. He still gets his insurance June 1st.
With a 6-month,
Well, every employee is for evaluations,
Right.
every employee. He's included,
right.
So
so.
there, that's where
Well,
they said at 6 months they will.
The only thing that I'm telling you, when it comes
Doesn't make sense.
1 year from now, we'll be discussing the same thing.
No.
I don't think.
Maybe not to that amount, but
Could be more.
it sure heck won't get down
And then
too
the
low.
audience, if
All right, so that's a dead issue. We will pay the bond.
No, we have to vote on it.
We have to vote on, well, she took the,
No, but she
It's wrong.
made a new motion that council, the borough would
well,
pay.
you withdraw your motion about him paying the 2175, right?
Yes, I
And,
did.
and
And I made a new motion, and Stacy seconded it.
that we will pay the bond?
Yes. That's what
Okay, you
people
heard the
want.
motion
Give the people what they want.
That the,
I don't agree.
or the borough will pay the total, dollars for Josh bond of $2,500. All in favor, somebody saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion so carried. All right, dead issue.
Thank God.
Now, we're gonna go back to a couple things we have to do before we have breakfast.
I just want to say, I mean, I know this is
No,
difficult.
we're gonna go to here.
I just want to say that we're here to represent our community. It's not personal, and that's what needs to stop. And the fact that, like, you're having a hissy fit about it because that's what the public is asking for is insane.
No, I'm not having a hissy fit. I talked to a lot of homeowners, a lot of taxpayers, and they didn't think that we should pay the bond.
But are they here?
So, no, I can't make people come, and I
So
wouldn't
people
do
sign
that.
your letter here?
Well, the people that are coming are invested in our
The people
community.
sign your letter.
Everybody's invested in the
It's
community.
not my letter. I was asked to read it and I read it. That's all
Everybody's
that was.
invested in the community, aren't they? as a
Did you
taxpayer?
forget something in that letter, or who signed it?
I didn't forget it. I said we all received it. I don't know that they all wanted
But
to
you
be
never
put on
read who
public.
was signed by it?
Would you like me to? I can.
Yes.
Okay.
You said that it went to the residents. I didn't see it.
I didn't get anything.
It's in your email. You were CC'd on the same email I was. Yes,
But I
yes, you were.
didn't get it to sign.
Oh, I didn't get it to sign either. I wasn't gonna if I. even
Okay,
did.
while she's looking
Because
for
that's
that,
not
I
my
have a
position.
couple things, because we need a motion to amend the
Tough
personnel,
battle, boy.
Tom,
I'm
hush.
sorry.
We need a motion to amend the personnel policy handbook on changes previously approved. As of,
No, we don't need that, Fran, that was already approved.
this wasn't approved.
Fran, that's not on the agenda.
Pardon?
That's not on, we're on number
Well,
seven.
you gotta approve the
No,
changes.
Fran, those are the
Blue
approved
Ridge.
changes.
Okay.
Jim hasn't done
All right,
that.
I'm sorry.
We're on Blue Ridge.
All right, Blue Ridge contract renewal. We need a motion to renew that.
I make a motion to renew the Blue Ridge
I
contract.
second it.
Conversation?
None.
Any questions? Regular moved and seconded on the question? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion so carried. The next one, we need a motion to,
I'll make the motion to continue with selective insurance proposal.
I second.
as presented.
As
All in
presented,
favor? Second, all in favor, signify,
Aye.
any questions on it? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion so carried. And we need a,
I'll make a motion for the GTRP grant application approval.
Second.
on the question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion so carried.
I want to make a motion for the resolution approval with the change from mayor to President O'Boyle.
What was that now?
The resolution approval
On the signature.
on the signature, well, not on the signature, he still has to sign it as mayor, but on the second paragraph, within resolution number 5 of 2021, that it be further resolved that the applicant does hereby designate Joshua Walker, borough change to manager, and Vice President Franny O'Boyle as the officials to execute all documents and agreements.
President.
President, did I say something
Yeah, you
different?
said Vice President.
I apologize, President O'Boyle, to be the officials to execute all documents and agreements between the Borough of Mount Pocono and the Commonwealth Financing Authorities.
All right, you heard the motion. I think it's wrong, but who seconded it?
I did.
Who's aided?
Claudette.
Claudette? Okay. On the question? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay, roll call. Claudette, yes or no?
Yes.
Patty?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
let's see, it's one,
And you.
two,
And then
three.
yours.
It's 5 to 1. I'm voting yes, so it's also. We gotta get home sometime. Another motion that we need is, and I don't think we ever did it, was a motion to apply for the grants for LSA for $500,000 and Mutual Moda,
The multimodal.
Multi-Moda for $500,000 to, for the purpose of a road from Industrial Park to 611, known as Star
I'll make a motion to
Boulevard.
apply for all and any grants applicable to finding financing for the borough of Mount Pocono.
I'll second it.
On the question, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I can read you the signatures now. I mean, I don't know if there were additional ones, but on May 12th, when I received this, that is the signatures that are on here, if you want it.
They didn't even sign it, that's printed out. But signature, I thought was something
Oh, physical, okay. Do you
physically
have the
signed.
physical, anybody? You? Do you want the names or no?
No, I don't care about it. I know one there that said he didn't
You don't
sign
need
it.
to read the name, everybody got the email.
Yeah, but one didn't sign it on the list, so
Who didn't sign it that was listed?
I don't know if he wants his name.
Billy Jabbar told me he did not sign that.
All right, well, I got the text messages from Billy, so I stand by it. Are we in public participation yet?
Oh,
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
May I?
Right.
I
What's
have a
that?
timer, so. can I-
Public participation.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay, Matt, go ahead.
I'll start the timer when I get up here. I'll be civil, don't
Forget
worry.
about the vote.
Oh, he's got paper, I'm so sad.
I just want to ask about an update on the website. Is it up yet?
It's not up, no.
Isn't it due to be up?
No, not yet.
The 21st, I think.
21st.
21st, okay.
Forget about the vote.
Okay. And then, Mike, if you want this to end, I just need a few simple answers, okay? Because I'm the one who wrote the letter.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who coordinated with Jeff, Claudette, and several other council
Uh-huh.
members. So my question is, and I'm glad that we've approved Josh tonight. We all seem to think he does a good job,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, he does.
So my question is, Josh is the one who brought up these allegations at the meeting. And several people, it's been watched 100, or almost 1,000 times, I think now, have watched the clip of you two talking about the documents missing from the building. He talks about the audio recording that was taken, and if I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong, okay? He talks about the audio recording that was taken, okay? Several people have talked about how the audio now sounds like chipmunks,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. Also, in that meeting, he talks about the election form, the statement of financial interest, Randy Altamos's, which was missing, am I correct? He also talks about yours, which had appeared, am I correct? Okay? That's where this all started from, okay? And you gave a very bland word salad sandwich, okay? Which didn't really answer these allegations. And that's the allegations that are in the letter.
What do you want me to answer? Ask the question.
Because, well, here's my
I don't mind
question.
answering.
Here's my question. You just approved Josh as the borough manager.
He did.
Who is lying?
He didn't.
He didn't.
I can tell you I'm not lying.
Well, you did.
I did, that's right.
Yeah, and you did, and you did, and you did, and you did. So in that meeting, several allegations were made, and you just approved Josh, so this is the confusion. Allegations were made, and they're.
Well, I think council
You said-
wants to move forward.
Let me finish. I have, let's see,
There's no legal.
Add an
I've
extra
got 2
15.
minutes and 57 seconds left.
Add another 15.
That's right.
2 minutes, 57 seconds left. That's all I need. I just want an answer between the two of you, because an allegation was made. And if you're saying that nothing was taken, and Josh saying something was taken, there's obviously a problem here. And so that's the answer we would like to get. Because, and also, the audio report, the meeting recording was altered. Am I correct?
Yeah.
No, it
Okay.
wasn't.
It was.
No, it was
Matt,
not.
I have the
Does the
solution.
audio recording sound like chipmunks?
Yes,
Can somebody
it
ask
does.
that?
Yep, it sure does.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Also, in the previous meeting, you mentioned that you gave it to a professional audio
Uh-huh.
producer, and it just blew past.
Yes, music producer.
Yep.
And there was no explanation as to why it was given to a music producer.
I questioned it.
You
and
questioned
they
it
told-
and
they
went right
told me
by.
that, no,
Also,
it
I'd like to
wasn't
point
given
out,
a
I'm almost done. I promise you I'm almost done, and then you guys can respond. when the allegations were brought up, Mr. Neville and Ms. Bucco immediately went back to the incorrect minutes instead of focusing on the issue which Josh is accusing that documents have gone missing. Now, I'm concerned about documents going missing. In the sewer authority, if one of the sewer authority members walked in and took documents, my name is on $20 million worth of contracts. There's a stamp with my signature, my social security. I am bonded. No one else on the security, on the municipal authority, including yourself, is bonded, except for Ron. So this is a bigger issue. And if you just approve Josh tonight, just give us an answer. So if he's lying, he's lying. Or if he's
I'm not going to sit here and accuse Josh of lying. I'm saying I'm not lying. He can speak for himself. I don't want to.
Okay, good.
I don't want to.
Josh, the meeting recording.
I don't want to continue this with Joshua and putting him on the spot.
I still have my time.
Yeah, but I can make a comment.
Okay, come on.
Enough.
You don't like it when people step over each other?
No, I don't have a problem with you.
I was talking to Mr. Neville.
Yeah, he's talking to me.
So, Josh, can you please let me know, do you still stand by what you said in that meeting?
Yes, yeah, everything is.
Thank you, okay. So that still exists.
And just to clarify, when I said that quickly in the meeting, I did not mention the mayor. I simply said documents were missing.
Yes,
I said
you
that
did.
the recording was missing.
Yeah,
I think it was the mayor who said that he
said he
took
took
the
it.
recording. He
Yes.
did not say he took the documents until the next
Okay.
day with the conversation, so I would
Never
just
said I
ask-
took the documents.
I would just
I
ask-
copied documents.
If you release
Yeah.
the recording of the conversation between us, I think it would be pretty clear that the public would hear exactly what.
No, it would be pretty clear. And Jim, as you know, is reviewing that conversation before it's released, so.
Well, the video shows. What did the video show? The video shows.
I mean, we have the video, obviously the video.
You have the video of me bringing something in the evening.
I'm answering Ms. Williams' question.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, lying isn't gonna cut
Who's
it.
lying? Oh, my time is up, guys. Do you have any other questions? for
Okay,
me?
now you ask how you're gonna get this who's telling the truth, who isn't?
What?
I think what they should do, each one of them take the polygraph test and then we'll.
No. Fran, if we're gonna take a polygraph test, I wanna know how many trips you went on with Sam D'Alessandro when you were the Mount Pocono Municipal Authority Chair. If you wanna line up for.
And I paid for every one of them.
There.
That's
Okay.
the worst kept secret
I
in
would
this town.
like.
I will
And I got
admit,
20 million, I got 20 million reasons why I wanna know that answer. But my time is up.
you don't have that many, but that's beside the point.
You wanna check the bill lately? Wanna know what? Oh, excuse me, while I'm here.
No, really,
I'm good.
What Mr. Rosen left out is that part of the reason why the sewer authority bills have gone up $120 this year, and why we're also removing the early discount, is because the previous engineer, headed by Sam D'Alessandro, told us that those chillers were gonna use 3 times less the power that they actually use. Also, we have no data that's gonna prove that the thing that your board lost, the lawsuit that your board lost,
Not me.
is going to actually work. So while you laugh about your friend Edie Stevens, who has, you yuck it up about how, oh, we should, Edie said this and Edie said that. We got 20 million reasons and $10,000 a month in electrical bills because of that plan. So don't talk to me about integrity and taking lie detector tests.
Thank you.
All right?
I will take one anytime.
Go.
I could ask you a question and start something too, but I
What do you
won't.
want to know?
I'm not gonna
What do you
extend
want to
this.
know, Fran?
All right, here's,
So all we want to know, since you all just approved the borough manager, who's still sticking to one story, and the mayor's going to a completely opposite story by giving a vague disavowal of everything, it's on you guys. And elect, as you say,
So
election.
the lack of specifics on the other side, Matt?
Josh gave
No,
specifics.
zero proof, zero.
Josh gave specifics.
No,
and he
they
said
were
staff
accusations
augmented-
leveled at a meeting.
So, but then.
Those
Come
are
on,
our
let's
speak up
bury
to that.
this
When they
thing.
hired him, you said
we
you
can,
were
we'll
gonna
be
have
on
good
page
news
one
tonight.
tomorrow morning at
Yeah.
the Pocono
You said
Record,
tonight we're
so.
gonna have good news, so it's good news. Josh is hired.
Exactly.
He's accusing you of theft.
And I'm willing to move beyond it.
Hey, Matt, I wanna ask you one question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When the lightning hit the sewer plant down there, who went down there and worked for 2 days for nothing?
We're not talking about that.
Well, he's saying I went with Sam D'Alessandro. I did. There's no question about that. And I went with an attorney too. The 3 of us went duck
I'm
hunting.
glad you had a great time.
We did.
Good.
The first time we didn't, but the second time we did. Because we didn't get any ducks.
I'm glad Matt showed up for the last meeting, the most important vote of the year.
Fran, it's funny, but it's not.
It's not funny.
I'm just telling you that those are the facts.
Yes.
I paid my way and everything up there. Nobody paid my way.
Yes.
I paid for we stayed at a room and board place and I paid my way.
Okay.
I paid for my room when we stayed overnight and
All about
everything.
accusations.
But that's beside the point. Okay, we have one other issue, one thing here. Since we're paying for Josh's security bond, we have to make a motion to pay this $2,500.
We did that.
We made that.
It was in my motion.
You don't have it yet. You never made an approval to pay this
It
bond.
was
It
in
was in
my
my
motion.
motion.
You s-
It was in my motion.
It was?
For the borough
Okay.
to pay the 25.
we're paying the $25.
Yeah.
And it was approved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. Okay, we're under public participation. Anne Marie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question on your unfinished business 6A2.
Yes?
Did I miss something where it said you were going to have to make a motion on ending Josh's probationary period?
I can't
That
hear
was
you.
part of her motion when she had to hire him.
Hired him.
As soon as the bond gets paid and it's active, he's off his probationary period as of the 20th, but his insurance and everything will start on the 1st.
Yeah, but as soon as the bond is paid, then he will be
Right,
the borough
that's the
manager.
motion you made.
Okay, then my next question is nothing to do with that. There were several meetings that the minutes were not approved.
Yes, ma'am.
We still
No,
don't
they're
have
And they're
them.
still not
With the
approved.
We
same
still
recording.
have them.
We're still without.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Those are the same recording.
Anybody else?
Now, just, I
Kim.
just want to say, we went ahead and we approved Joshua for a borough manager, but one of the questions that is in play right now is, do we need a borough manager? So they're looking to remove him in the near future. So just want to make sure that you're aware. And which, of course, is in the budget, but now they're questioning whether or not we need to have him in place.
When you say they,
That's
who are you
not
talking
true.
The
about?
council.
That's not
You're
true.
part of council.
Yes, I am a part of the council, and I'm making that
That's
statement.
not true.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Wait a minute, we have to make We have a gentleman back there who would like to talk. Yes, state your name and
Master Kim.
bother you, but I just met today.
take your mask off so we know who you are.
Mr.
Yes,
Kim.
Master Kim is doing taekwondo in Pocono Borough. So already it's been 5 years.
I can't
Excuse me,
understand.
guys, we're trying to hear
I'm
Mr.
Master Kim is doing taekwondo school in Mount Pocono,
Okay.
Pocono Boulevard. So I'm watching the whole accident every time. And I met this morning the Councilwoman Ida. I just want to ask you one more time, not anymore prolonged. We shouldn't prolong the act for improving the safety. Please, this time has to finish. I'm still having done the petition since last June 2019. We have 18 signature on it. I sent
1800, right?
1800.
Yeah.
And then I sent them to the senator, like this way.
Scabella?
When did you send that?
The senator,
Uh-huh.
like it says like September 16, 2020.
2020.
Yes. and then-
Maybe you can talk to that lady there. She was present at that time.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, we tried to solve this matter last year, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't solve it. So don't touch too many things, like too many opinions. I accept it. I think they are all correct, but we just focus on one thing. Effective one. I think personally the radar speed control sign is very effective. I sat down one day in Paradise Township. Paradise Township, right?
Township, yeah.
Mhm. And I just watched 10 or 20 cars, and then everybody reduced their speed in half. It worked.
Yeah.
So let's first focus on the effective one first. The radar speed sign, control sign, very effective. So let's put the 2 or 3, whatever is allowed by PennDOT, and then we'll move on to next ones. So don't touch too many things at one
Right.
time. we
Right.
cannot do anything then.
Right.
Okay? So anytime if you need the 18 signatures, I will give you.
Yeah.
Let me know when you send the application to the Senate office. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, we have,
Okay, thank you.
there's a committee
Just-
now that's set up that's for safety, so they'll take that.
So just please focus. Let's finish this time, please. No more prolong.
That's up to the committee.
Dangerous.
I'm-
Dangerous. All single parents to my school, they are really scolding about the township, and they are everybody upset. They willingly want to sign. So you have to listen to the public opinion. There's politics, and then the accomplishing the democracy. We have to listen to the majority opinions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The
You're welcome,
council
sir.
members, please focus. Finish this year, please. No more prolong, please. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I got something to say.
Right.
I don't care how long this meeting is. I'm civilized, huh? All right. Mike Reardon, 14 Cedar Road, up Pocono, PA. I'm kind of disgusted. And no wonder we're the laughing stock in Monroe County.
You're right.
I'm not kidding. You know, yeah, you know, everyone's like, yeah, harumping, you know, all you elected officials. I mean, whoever's running tomorrow, I might just not bother voting you all in, okay? I'll be quite honest with you. Disgusted. Disgusted. You're all grown-ass people, for crying out loud.
I agree with you
I mean,
100%.
you know, well, you know, Fran, Tom, Stacy. Jeez, I mean, how much time I have left? I don't know.
You got all the time you want, Mike. Say
Well,
your
my
piece.
taxpayer goes
Say
into
your
your
piece.
salary. Well, Tom, just, if you allow me to just take, I asked many moons ago, I think even when Fred Courtright was a mayor, you know, put up a sign that says, drive like your kids live here. I'm sure you all have kids, probably grandkids.
Great grandkids.
Great, there you go, Fran, okay, that's lovely, it's so wonderful. But everyone's harumping around here, and, you know, how many more deaths are we gonna, you know, how many more souls are gonna get, you know, Fran, you look at your documents, you're not looking up at me for crying out loud.
I'm listening to you, I don't have
Yeah, but you
to.
know, you just have time to, you know, do, oh, I got this, you know, and that sort of thing, and, you know, I'm trying to explain something to you.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
You got
okay.
my attention.
You know, I mean, smiling and all, smirking, and how lovely it. And what I'm telling you, some more people are going to get killed on 6/11. You know, businesses may be destroyed. You know, I feel for Joey. Joey and I, we go back at least 20 years. When I used to work up at Split Rock, and Joey used to work at Split Rock as well, selling timeshares and all that. You know, I mean.
Let me say one thing. We've set up a committee for that particular thing. Give them a chance to work on it for safety.
You got the money for it too, right?
Aidy's chairman of it.
Who's chair? Okay.
I'm gonna take care of getting the resolution taken care of at our next meeting. I am going to also send out some information to the to the Non-Pocono Association, so that their members are aware that they can submit a letter of interest to be on the committee, so that hopefully by next meeting, we could jumpstart and schedule our first meeting immediately.
You know, I should even mention what you know, Martin Luther King once said, you know, judge a person not by the color of their skin, but their, you know, Claudette, you know, character and all that. Well, Claudette, if you're upset over losing your presidency, I mean, you're not? Well, you sure as heck are, you yell everything and, you know, say, excuse me, First Amendment and all this lovely stuff. And, I mean, do you really think you're fit to, you know, just serve? I mean,
Why?
I don't really understand, you know. I don't get you sometimes.
What do you mean by if I think I'm fit? Because
I don't know. You know, you just have this thing of this anger you got and all that.
no, because I'm being accused of something that I am not guilty of. That is what happened. I am being accused of something.
Then I
So,
guess,
I mean, when someone is being accused of something, you have to justify it. It doesn't mean that you sit down and let someone else accuse you of something that you are not guilty of.
lawyer up, I don't know, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, I mean,
Yeah, but if it's done in the public, then you have to have a voice. It doesn't mean that, from generation to generation, you play dead. You stand up for what you believe in.
Never
And
said
if you're
play
being
dead,
accused
but-
of something, if you're being
Alright.
accused of something, then you stand up for it. And you defend yourself. And that is exactly what I'm doing. If I'm been accused of removing materials from the borough, which I haven't even been in the borough, so I must just sit back and let someone continue to accuse me of that. I have to defend myself.
didn't say otherwise, I don't know.
Okay, okay.
All right, just, if you're running tomorrow, you.
I am
prob-
not.
No, she's not running.
Well, you probably, I don't, well, just think about, just think about, I mean, we're taxpayers. I'm a level-headed guy, I'm just a working stiff, I'm nobody, I'm someone's dad, but, I'm concerned about my kid's future, I saw a banner, outside someone's house on the way home on 176, that said, I won't say the actual word, F Joe Biden. Could you imagine, your kids or grandkids saying, Mommy, Daddy, what does F Joe Biden mean? Or saying F Donald Trump, right? Or if someone had a banner, someone said F Michael Penn or F Franny O'Boyle or whatever,
I agree, civility has been lost in our
or F
community.
Claudette Williams. it's crazy.
Or call me racial names,
Or F Mike Reardon. Or Claudette, can't pull out the race card like it's.
Now, it was done to me here, in this
All
borough.
right, well, okay, like I said,
With employees.
content of the character,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
get back to, okay? All right? Because we all got, race, color, creed, orientation, you know what I'm saying, let diversity.
I agree.
You welcome out, Stacy, I understand, Stacy, I get it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And I think Josh is doing a wonderful job,
He
okay?
is.
Yeah.
All right, I think he deserves to be fully,
Yeah.
you guys ought to pitch in, I mean, seems like an outstanding articulate fellow who has the credentials. My time's up, I guess. You'll see me.
I'd just
you'll
like
see
to
me-
say
you'll
that
see me at the
I
Pulse
work
Corp.
with
I'll
Josh.
see you at the fall.
I don't think he can have any complaints about me. I work with Josh and Alexis. I don't, they're people, that's all the way I look at
And
it.
Danielle, don't leave her out.
Well, she's,
All right.
And Mike, I want to thank you for speaking frankly and respectfully to the council on what's in your mind and how you see it through your eyes.
Originally, I wasn't gonna say anything,
No,
Tom.
that's fine, I appreciate, and I'm glad you did,
And I'm
Yeah.
allowed.
because it came to the point
Pardon?
where it's just totally
Yeah, we should.
dysfunctional.
I mean, why can't we just be, I mean, the Monroe County,
Till like 10
no
o'clock,
wonder
you know
Monroe
where
County
the
kind of
kids are?
treats us like, excuse me, other municipalities treat Monroe County, consider Mount Pocono, we're like the laughing stock.
We are laughing.
you got it, buddy.
I mean, it can't be all that different from maybe, Scranton I heard about Scranton, that FBI raided Scranton Town Hall not too far back in time, but, for Christ's sake, come on, man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'll see you all at the polls, I gotta go. Good night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mike, appreciate that.
All right,
Now can I motion to adjourn?
yes, you may.
I'd like to motion to adjourn.
A second.
Okay, regular moved to second, all in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion so carried.
Yeah.
have something I want to give you.
Oh, yeah?
In reference to, let me see if I have it with me.
Everything isn't going well. They're home right now, which I want to get back to you as well.
Oh, yeah.
I expected
You know what that is?
Matt Denzel is total lie.
Yeah, I know he's a liar.
I have,
Lies all the time.
I have nothing immoral.
Oh, I know.
I went to Dublin twice, I paid for gas, I paid for food.
Did you see what that's done? They just,
Well, I should ask him about his ex-wife.
ask him, yeah, exactly, and ask him why he didn't show up at the most important meeting last week of the year when we voted to increase rates and approve the budget. Why wasn't he there? Because he won't.
Because he's chicken.
I don't have resources I don't know about. I wanted that out.